emotion, right? And then they started talking like about how there are anger addicts, right? Just like drug addicts, right? You think that's it's obvious you think that's the case, right? Some people are addicted to anger.
Well, some people can be addicted to anger, yeah.
And then it's like, so then, and then it could be fear too, and yeah, but I think there's something else. It could just wow, it's hard to believe that fear is pleasurable, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I think there's another existential thing going on. Plus, there's something else going on.
Yeah, you're talking about layers, you know.
Layers, right.
There's layers of psychological reality, yeah.
Now, what do you think the mind is? Whoa, what's going on?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how to answer your question, because when you say what is the mind, I mean, you're talking about what is the brain?
No, what is the mind? Do you believe in the mind, or do you believe only in the brain?
When I think of the mind, I think of how my mind works, which is my personal experience of everything that happens to me.
I'm asking you as a psychologist, what is the mind?
I don't have a quick and dirty definition for you, sorry.
And, okay, but do you believe that the mind exists separate from the brain, or there's only the brain?
That's a good question. The question is everything materialistically determined? I don't think it is materialistically determined. Everything is. But then you have to ask yourself, well, how is that possible? Well, I don't have an explanation for that either.
You know that book I told you about, Lucid Dreamings? Yeah, I think they tell a story in that book about how a psychic did what an atom bomb can't do.
Which is what?
It had something to do with subatomic particles encased in this material, right? And they said that even an atom bomb could not move these subatomic particles encased in this material. It might, send that material 1,000 miles, whatever, right? But it could not move these particles in that material, right? But the psychic was able to move these subatomic particles in that material using only his mind, and they experimented. I mean, they verified it experimentally, right?
Right.
What do you think about that? That's incredible, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that absolute power of mind over reality, or mind over the physical world? At a distance, action at a distance via the mind?
Yes, another way to think of that is non-local consciousness.
Yeah. Like quantum physics we talked about before, yeah.
Exactly.
So what else we got on that list?
Okay. What is the mind? Is mind separate from brain? Women in strip clubs.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you, it's just weird how things have changed sexually, right? Now it's like women have more sexual freedom than men. If men did what women did in strip clubs, right, they would be arrested. These women, they got these real videos. Well, I accessed them through a website called RedTube, where they show free porno. And I don't know what the website for this, these videos is, but I got to it through redtube.com, free porno. And it showed real footage of women in strip clubs giving oral sex to the strippers, having sex with the strippers, intercourse, and then having the strippers ejaculate on their faces. Real footage, they claim. I believe it. I mean, it happened almost to a friend of mine 30 years ago, right? He probably started this, right? He was a waiter. He did a little dance for a bunch of women. One was having a birthday party. They got him on the ground. They kind of stripped him, played with his penis a little bit, but they didn't have the nerve back then to do what they're doing now in strip clubs all across America, right? And, these women are just out of control, going wild, right? But like if men try, men, if they touch the stripper, you heard the stories, right? If you fondle the stripper and she's dancing on your lap, right? And if you fondle her breasts, you could get kicked out of the club, beat up maybe, or arrested even, right? Assault, right? If they want to push it that far, they could technically, right? They probably wouldn't, right? But, God dang it, why can't men do that, what women do, in strip clubs? Can you tell me that? I mean, it's this double standard.
Haven't you found something? Maybe you haven't looked far enough to find a similar.
Have you ever heard of a
video.
male strip club? God, I'm pretty sure I would have heard about that if it existed.
You're talking about men strippers and women in the audience doing
Yeah.
things, right? And so you're thinking, well, there's all sorts of pole dancing women out there, and I assume that they've got men who are, doing all sorts of things. But
I mean, these women weren't like in a back room or something. There were like hundreds of women, seemed like. I didn't count them, right? But I mean, packed full of women, and they're just doing it right in front of each other, man.
I haven't been to a club like that.
What do you think about that double standard? Isn't it funny how it's flipped
I'm not sure
around?
that there's a double standard. Like I said, you probably could find a video like that, where the.
But this is real. They didn't stage this.
That I don't know much about. Because a lot of that stuff that you can see on video, it's like, is this at a private club or is this just,
there were so many women there, and it was like, God, you think? I don't know.
And you wish you were there.
Maybe I'm too, I wish I was one of the strippers, yeah. I wish when I was young I got the chance to be a stripper, I got offered that job, but I turned it down. I regret it. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, I got to take a break. What do you think about, my plan to become a god? Do you think that's delusional? Or you think
to become a god?
Yeah, my intention to become a god. My belief that I will become a god.
Yeah, well, how does that figure in with your belief that you already are a god?
I never said that, did I?
Well,
maybe I did and I don't remember.
Well, how about this? It's like when you're thinking about being godlike, you think, well, am I already godlike, but I'm not aware of it? Is this something that I'm intended to be? Am I becoming?
Oh, I understand what you're saying now because of what I said earlier.
You already? Do you feel like since you feel that?
I said I feel very godlike.
There you go.
But not. I never said that I am a god.
Well, so
there's a huge difference between the two.
True enough. So the question is what do I think of the plan?
Well, do you think it's delusional?
Well, what is a plan? I mean, how do you plan to be a god, for example?
Well, I'm training my mind.
So you're using a god trainer.
What I call a god trainer. Biofeedback equipment.
I think that's a good thing. Use a god trainer for biofeedback. That sounds good.
But what about the question, am I delusional for saying I think I'm going, or I'm trying, let's just put it that way, I'm trying to become a god. Is that delusional?
In and of itself, that is not a delusional statement, no.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Now, what about Einstein's special relativity? Do you believe that I understand it, or do you believe that's a delusion?
Well, we've never really talked about that, and I'm not sure I'm the one who could be evaluating whether or not you have a better understanding of that than anybody else. That's not my area of expertise.
Oh, that's a beautiful answer because, Dr. Munch, yeah, she just thought, even thinking I could understand it or challenge Einstein, she considered that delusional right off the bat, So, yeah, that's why she diagnosed me as being delusional. I told her I never said I'm a god, and then she was like, godlike. And I said, I never even said I was godlike. I just said that I want to be a god, right? But she was a pathological liar. But anyway.
In any event, right. People hear certain things, yeah. They may hear the wrong thing. They may fill in the blanks and end up,
the VA, I was in this one place, and I guess they were connected to the VA, and I had, a guy was down there. He was my counselor. He was directly with the VA, so I guess he played a role in it. So I guess it's true to say that the VA tried to force me to be psychologically tested because I said I've disproven Einstein's special theory of relativity. I mean, does that seem fair to you?
That you should be tested for that reason?
Yeah.